Manchester City's qualification for the top 8 in the UEFA Champions League has become a significant highlight of their 2025/2026 campaign, but it came at a heavy cost. A week of madness across Europe's elite football competition saw Pep Guardiola's side make it through to the knockout rounds, even as they faced mounting injury challenges. The injury bug has hit hard for City, with key players sidelined, but the club's performance against Galatasaray was a crucial one for their hopes on multiple fronts. Doku's return from injury cut short. Again, a particularly bittersweet element of City's progress in the Champions League came with the ongoing saga of Jeremy Doku's injury troubles. The Belgian winger has shown flashes of brilliance in his short time at the Etihad Stadium. However, his progress has been severely hampered by a series of injuries, with none more frustrating than the recurring calf issues that have recently cropped up again. Before the match against Galatasaray, it was confirmed that Doku would be available for the fixture, and the press conference featuring both him and Guardiola gave a glimpse into the winger's recovery and his plans for the future. When asked about whether this season could be the one where he finally lived up to the promise that City had hoped for when signing him, Doku was optimistic. "I will see at the end of the season. I am always trying to grow and become better. I feel like I have been doing better," he said. "Let's see what it brings. I think this season will be better than the previous two for sure." But the cruel twist of fate came swiftly. After a strong performance in the win over Galatasaray, Doku limped off the field, feeling discomfort in his calf once more. Guardiola's subsequent confirmation that Doku's season was going to take another pause sent waves of disappointment through the Manchester City camp. While Doku had spoken with hope of a breakout season, it now seemed that another injury setback would keep him sidelined at least until March. For a player like Doku, who has struggled to find consistency due to injuries, the repeated misfortunes only add to the frustration. With a promising start to his career at Manchester City, Doku's inability to stay fit has become a growing concern. Guardiola, too, expressed his disappointment after the game, noting how much the young Belgian's absence would hurt City, especially considering the importance of maintaining momentum throughout the campaign. City's injury crisis deepens. As if losing Doku wasn't enough, City's injury list has grown to worrying proportions. Defenders such as John Stones, Nathan Ake and Ruben Dias have all been sidelined, and the club's defensive depth has been stretched thin. To make matters worse, forward Savinho has also been ruled out for a considerable period. The midfield department hasn't been spared either, with Mateo Kovacic and Nico Gonzalez both struggling with injuries. This has left Guardiola to rely on the likes of Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan to shoulder the responsibility in midfield, with backup options not always ideal given the rigours of competing across multiple fronts. The growing injury crisis has placed City in a precarious position. A squad that was once brimming with depth now finds itself needing to manage fatigue and avoid further injuries, all while contending with the packed schedule. However, despite all these challenges, City's resilience and determination have been evident. The win over Galatasaray was crucial, not only for the points and qualification, but for the momentum it provided. With the Blues safely through to the knockout rounds, Guardiola's men can now look ahead to the next phase of their Champions League journey. The significance of reaching the knockout stages. Reaching the knockout stages of the Champions League this season holds greater significance than ever before for Manchester City, not just because of the competition itself, but due to the strain injuries are placing on the squad. With key players missing and others playing through discomfort, the last thing Guardiola and his team needed was to add more fixtures to an already packed calendar. City's qualification to the last 16 of the competition was a relief, especially when considering how a slip-up in the group stages could have led to more midweek fixtures in the knockout rounds. As Doku mentioned in his press conference, being in the top 8 means avoiding 2 extra games. Very important, he explained. If you are in the top 8, you don't play 2 games. Playing 2 games less is good for us. The fewer games for the squad to manage means less risk of further injuries and more time for recovery. Guardiola's tactical expertise will be tested further in the coming months as he seeks to balance his squad's workload. The team's already packed fixture list includes important Premier League games as well as domestic cup competitions such as the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. The pressure of the title race, the win over Galatasaray, also had large ramifications for City's title aspirations. The victory saw the Blues narrow the gap to league leaders Arsenal to just 4 points, keeping their Premier League title hopes alive. With the league campaign in full swing and Arsenal showing no signs of slowing down, the ability to stay within touching distance of the Gunners is crucial. The added bonus of not having to play 2 extra Champions League fixtures in February could be pivotal in this respect. Guardiola's squad, already dealing with injuries, will need to manage the remaining months of the season with care. Every player will be needed at their best to mount a serious challenge for the Premier League title and remain competitive in the Champions League. However, the next few weeks will be challenging for City, with important matches scheduled against teams like Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Guardiola will be hoping for more luck in terms of injuries, but the sheer volume of games and the stakes involved make it clear that City cannot afford to let their guard down injuries plague. City's forward line, one of the greatest concerns for Guardiola given the injury to Doku, will be the impact on his forward line. With the Belgian out, the pressure falls on other attackers such as Erling Haaland, Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva to provide the necessary creativity and goal-scoring threat. Haaland in particular has been in fine form, but with so much attention on him, the burden on the Norwegian striker has grown heavier. Foden's ability to step up in a more creative role will also be key for City, as the English forward is well equipped to fill in for Doku's absence. However, with the continued uncertainty surrounding other attacking options, Guardiola will need to get creative with his lineup. Optimism for the future. Despite the injury setbacks, there is still reason for optimism. City's qualification for the knockout rounds of the Champions League buys them time and space to recover from the ongoing injuries. Furthermore, the continued progress of players like Foden, Haaland and Silva, along with the potential return of players like Doku in March, suggests that better days lie ahead. It's also worth noting that Guardiola's ability to rotate his squad and manage fatigue could prove to be a major asset in the second half of the season. City's squad, while currently dealing with injury woes, still has depth and quality across every position, and the challenge will be managing it effectively. Looking ahead. March on the horizon. As the season progresses, City will look to regroup during the mid-season break and prepare for the intense months ahead. The prospect of a fully fit Doku in March, alongside the return of other key players, will give City the much-needed boost as they push for trophies on multiple fronts. The race for the Premier League title is far from over, and City's progress in the Champions League remains a source of hope. With less pressure from extra fixtures in February, Guardiola can focus on getting the best out of his players, allowing them to recover properly and maintain their pursuit of silverware. While Doku's injury is undeniably a blow to the team's attacking options, the victory over Galatasaray and the qualification to the Champions League knockout stages give Manchester City the opportunity to reassess, regroup and continue their quest for glory. This has been an incredible season for Manchester City so far, with highs and lows, but the resilience shown by Pep Guardiola's team, especially in overcoming adversity in the face of so many injuries, stands as a testament to their strength and depth. The road ahead is still long, but City's prospects remain positive as they gear up for the next chapter of their ambitious season. Another news: Manchester City are always a club under the microscope when it comes to their transfer activity, and this January window has been no exception. With Pep Guardiola's team engaged in an intense battle for the Premier League title with Arsenal, the stakes are higher than ever for the citizens. However, the club is also looking towards the future, making moves that could have a long-term impact while also addressing immediate squad needs. Their January business has already raised eyebrows, and it looks like they may not be finished just yet, with both potential exits and new signings still on the cards. Oscar Bobbs. Departure to Fulham. The first significant exit from the Etihad in this transfer window looks to be that of Norwegian winger Oscar Bob. Bob, who has been with Manchester City since 2019 when he joined from Norwegian side Vålerenga, has made 47 appearances for the first team, scoring 4 goals and providing 3 assists. Despite showing flashes of promise, Bob's role in Guardiola's squad has become increasingly limited, particularly with the addition of forward Antoine Semenyo. The arrival of new players in the attacking department has made it difficult for Bob to secure regular first-team football, and as a result, the 22-year-old is set to make a move to Fulham. A medical has already been scheduled, and reports indicate that the deal is set to be worth £27 million, with a 20% sell-on clause included for the Norwegian international. While the departure of Bob may not be one that excites many fans, it is a logical decision for both parties involved. With the club's overabundance of attacking options, it is only fair that Bob be allowed to seek regular playing time elsewhere. Additionally, this move is likely a result of Manchester City's attempts to stay compliant with the Premier League's financial fair play, FFP regulations, also known as the Profitability and Sustainability Rules, PSR, which govern how much money clubs can lose in a season. Bob's exit is the first major departure for Manchester City in this window, but whether it will be the only one remains to be seen. While there have been few significant rumours suggesting that other first-team players are set to leave, the club will need to balance its books, especially if they continue to make high-profile signings. Mateus Fernandes, potential replacement for Bernardo Silva. While Oscar Bob's departure may have been a straightforward decision, Manchester City's next major move will have far-reaching implications for the club's future. As things stand, City are faced with the reality that one of their most important players, Bernardo Silva, will be out of contract at the end of the season. There have been no indications that City intend to extend the Portuguese international's deal, and with the player's future in limbo, it looks increasingly likely that Silva will depart for free when his contract expires in the summer. Silva has been a central figure for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, known for his incredible technical ability, versatility and work ethic. His potential departure will leave a sizable hole in the midfield, and it's clear that City will need to find a suitable replacement if they want to maintain their dominance in both domestic and European football. In light of Silva's uncertain future, Manchester City are reportedly eyeing a move for West Ham midfielder Mateus Fernandes as a possible replacement. According to Football Insider, the club has been keeping tabs on Fernandes, a 21-year-old Portuguese talent who has impressed during his time at West Ham. This news has caught the attention of many as it signals that Guardiola may be looking for a younger, dynamic player to fill the void left by Silva. The rising star, Mateus Fernandes' impact at West Ham. Fernandes joined West Ham from Southampton in August 2023 for a reported fee of £42 million. Since making the move, he has been one of the standout performers for the Hammers, registering 4 goals and 3 assists in 25 appearances this season. Despite West Ham's ongoing battle against relegation, Fernandes' performances have provided a glimmer of hope for the club, as he has consistently showcased his ability to control the game from midfield. One of Fernandes' key attributes is his versatility. Much like Silva, he is a player who can operate in various midfield roles, including as an attacking midfielder, a deeper playmaker, or even as a winger when needed. His ability to drift between the lines, pick out passes and make incisive runs into the box makes him an ideal fit for Manchester City's possession-based style of play. From a tactical standpoint, Fernandes could offer Guardiola a fresh dynamic in midfield. His natural flair, creativity and technical ability would be assets in City's high-tempo, intricate passing game. With the potential departure of Silva, who has long been one of the most influential players in City's setup, Fernandes could provide the perfect solution. He could seamlessly fit into the system, offering both attacking threat and defensive work rate. West Ham's reluctance to sell Fernandes. While Manchester City's interest in Fernandes is undeniable, West Ham are not keen on letting their star midfielder go. at least not in the current window. The club is currently embroiled in a relegation battle and will be desperate to retain their most talented players as they fight for survival in the Premier League. Selling Fernandes in the middle of a relegation scrap would send a signal of weakness and could further harm their hopes of staying up. Therefore, West Ham are unlikely to entertain offers for Fernandes during the January transfer window, with the focus firmly on their efforts to stay in the Premier League.